Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 90th minute. Today, we've got your hosts, myself, Lucas, Greg, and Matt. Liam may show up later. We're not too sure. You know, he's dealing with some stuff, so he may not show up. We don't know. But before we get into today's podcast, where we're going to be talking Premier League, Champions League, we're going to cover it all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. And thank you to those who are listening to us on audio apps. This podcast is also sponsored by the great folks at Manscaped. Hey, fellas, we're in the thick of winter and storms are brewing. It looks like there's going to be 1 to 3 inches in the forecast when you trim that hibernation bush that's taking down places in your pets. Luckily, our friends at Manscaped specialize in the products to make sure you're walking around the town with beautiful snowballs. Right now, here in Edmonton, it's getting better out there, but you can always treat yourself with the Lawnmower 3.0. Like we said in previous podcasts, the best
you just
tool
yourself.
in men's grooming. What?
Were you just cutting yourself down?
No, I didn't. No, what? No, what? No, no, you mean on the podcast? No. I have the bag here.
Okay.
So don't worry. I'm not doing business on the podcast.
It looked really weird.
I was like, whoa, wait, hold it.
That was so sus, dude.
But thank you for reminding me. I gotta get down to trimming again. It's been a while. Not like you need to know that. Also, we have the Crop Reviver Ball Toner if you ever need to shine it up down there just before a special occasion. But don't forget to use code 90th at checkout on Manscaped. Code 90th is 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Thank you Manscaped for making our winter wieners look so good. So yeah. Thank you so much. All right, let's get into the footy, the Premier League. We're going to kick it off with, and it's been an unfortunate week for some clubs, Lucas. Fortunate for some others. Guys, where do we start off? Do we start off with the Sunday matches?
Fucking Liverpool. That's who we're starting off with. Let's jump in.
I know, we start from like the latest matches, but let's be real here, Lucas. That's the biggest talking point right now is Liverpool. They took that 2-0 loss to Everton at Anfield. First time Everton has defeated Liverpool at Anfield since 1999.
Fat L. That is a fat L.
Before anyone says anything, Lucas, what do you got to say for yourself here, dog?
It's tough. It's tough, man. It's tough in these streets. I think Liverpool definitely didn't deserve to win that game. I think Everton defended very well throughout the game, preventing Liverpool to take any good chances. And the chances Liverpool did have, they just didn't take them well enough. It seems like it's becoming common now. Liverpool's attack isn't, doing anything really. Even when Liverpool defend well for the most part, it's just their struggle scoring goals and problems continue to happen. More injuries continue to pile up, which it is part of an excuse, but it doesn't completely excuse the attack not scoring. Henderson went down with an injury in this game though, which means our midfielder who's playing center back is no longer available.
Lucas, can I just say one thing? You're very lucky Liam isn't right here because he was tearing you a new one on the live stream. Bro, if you guys didn't check that out.
He's already tearing me enough. If he tears me even more, it's just pissing on someone's grave.
There's nothing going to be left.
Yeah, this is like, Lucas, I retire from the 9th minute.
Hey, man.
So,
I'm just glad I'm not in the most shocking state right now. Despite being a Barcelona fan, it's a blessing that I'm not the focus of attention this week. Despite the fact that we caught a dick from Mbappe. But, thank you, Lucas. And
you're not in the firing range this week, Matt, but I think...
I mean, we are, but not as much as you.
No. Well, yeah, but...
I think the big point of the part that you're missing from your attack is Sadio Mane doesn't seem... he's still a great player, but he's not doing what he was doing last season. I remember him scoring goals from outside the box with his head. Just goals like that would just come out of nowhere from that man.
Yeah,
and
I feel like he's been
not
a little bit more quiet this season. I think Greg and I talked about that. Firmino, he's improved this season, I think, compared to last year. But, it's just things aren't working at Liverpool at the moment. People are now questioning Klopp. How long is he going to last? I think that's foolish. He's brought you so much glory in the last few years. Yeah. One bad season doesn't mean you have to get shown the door.
Yeah.
It's not Chelsea.
Unless you're Chelsea or Madrid, yeah.
Yeah, I do want to mention, Usually in like the past few years, the front three never were all out of form at the same time. Like usually if one guy was out of form, another guy would step up. That isn't happening right now. We did have Jota who was doing really well earlier in the season when Liverpool were able to rotate their front three or even play all four of them. But unfortunately, him not being there, maybe the players up there, the front three who are constantly playing now, maybe they're a little tired. I don't know. But like the guys who are replacing them, like Origi and Shaqiri, Origi especially hasn't done enough. I think Shaqiri's done all right. And with Firmino, it's just, I know Matt was like tearing into his goal scoring ability last season, but there's just something missing with his striking ability. Like it seems like this was a guy who scored like 9 or 10 goals in a Champions League campaign just a handful of years ago, and now he's just like, he seems like he's completely regressed with goal scoring ability, and he's still very good like deeper in the pitch, but Liverpool definitely need like a focal point striker who can actually score goals, or at least a goal scorer in any case, because they're not scoring many.
Well, considering like if with all the defensive issues, everyone thought like, well, Liverpool will just outscore their opponents to win games, but that's not happening at all. It's like the defense, of course, the injuries, like no one's going to question. Like it's been so rough on you guys for that, but then the goal scoring is not coming as well, and it's just a mix of both, and it's just a mess. Like
rip
indeed.
Yeah, it is rip. Yeah.
A lot of people are like, there's some people like saying, "Is this the worst ever title defense for a competitive team?" Honestly, come on, United 2013 we finished 8th. Although it's just concerning Liverpool. You know, they might not get Champions League.
Yeah, will Liverpool miss out on the top 4? I hope not, but right now it's not looking great. 4 losses in a row. Other teams around them like West Ham and Leicester playing well. Chelsea until recently have been pretty good. Everton, of course, still have some games in hand and could potentially fight for a top 4 place. If Everton get in the top 4 and Liverpool don't, oh no.
Yeah, Liverpool's burning down if that happens.
But I still trust Jurgen Klopp. I know it's been a tough time for him and the team.
Yeah.
I just hope Champions League might be the only option for top 4 if the league form continues this way. He
does make a lot of excuses, but to be fair, like this is not a normal Premier League season. Like I remember the year before where like City kind of did a little bit poorly than usual. They had a lot of injuries, and people acknowledge that. With Liverpool, people are like, "Oh well, you only have Van Dijk out." I mean, it's a little bit more than that.
I think with the excuses thing with Jurgen Klopp, I mean, yeah, he does make some bad excuses at times, but like
his feet are hella cold.
But like in this past press conference, he literally didn't make a single excuse, and people like with a penalty. We don't need to mention the penalty thing because Jurgen Klopp said it doesn't matter if they didn't give that penalty or not. Liverpool still would have lost 1-0.
It would have been 1-0, so it didn't matter technically. Yeah.
But what were you gonna say, Greg?
I was just gonna mention like, I think Jota was in such good form before he got injured. He needs to come back flying as soon as he comes back from injury, which I'm pretty sure should be soon, right? Yeah. So like they need him back, that's for sure.
Yeah. So let's just make a quick prediction here. Will Liverpool get in the top 4? Yes or no?
I think they will.
I still think they will.
I think they will. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'd love to see West Ham get it, but yeah.
I think Man U and West Ham are still due for a catastrophic breakdown.
Bless you all. I'll say yes. Of course, terrible form doesn't last forever. I hope, at least for teams that should be good.
Go back to the Balotelli days. Rough.
All I'll say though, it's coming down to the wire for that top 4 because lots of teams are fighting though, like we said.
Yeah, but let's move on. What do you guys want to talk about next?
Well, let's stick it on the Saturday matches. Right after that, Fulham versus Sheffield United played. Big game for Greg and his lads. It was actually kind of okay game, but you got the 1-0 result, Greg. Yeah, you actually saw a result and you weren't at work.
Yes. Honestly,
that's great. So, Greg, just let's give us your thoughts on the game.
Well, we got 7 points from 9 in our past 3 games, which is like our best form all season. So 2 wins. Considering we only had 2 wins like through 20 games or so, we got 2 wins in the past 3 games. It's insane. One against Everton, of course, too. But it's crazy. We're only 3. Thank God to Manchester United, which we'll get to for today's matches or yesterday's matches, and because they beat Newcastle, we're only 3 points behind. So the great escape is there. We just gotta keep the form.
I mean, yeah, you guys are only 3 points out of the relegation spots.
What are you laughing at?
It's definitely doable. You good, Matt?
It's okay.
Don't you want Bobby Decker-Reed staying up?
Yeah, I need to see more of the king, bro. Maybe he'll make a big money move to Chelsea. Who knows?
Well,
Liverpool's the next new great striker.
we can quickly talk about Chelsea. They did draw Southampton on the same day, 1-1.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch the match. I'm sure you guys didn't either because it was really early in our time.
Yeah, no.
5:30 a.m. that is. But what I did hear is that Chelsea didn't play too well. People were complaining about some of the players, the lineup. People still were praising Mason Mount, saying he was 100% the best player. But there's this situation where Thomas Tuchel, he subbed on Callum Hudson-Odoi at halftime, I think. I might have.
Yeah.
And then
about that.
he subbed him off 75th minute or something like that. And now,
Yeah.
of course, he's a young player. He's had a lot of controversies in the past. Like, people want to see him play, but managers sometimes don't give him the chances sometimes, despite the talent he may have. With this, do you guys think this is just a wake-up call and not that big of a deal, or do you see more to this?
Should have gone to Bayern.
It's probably a little bit more.
It could be something in it from behind the scenes, but from what I know about it, how I see it is he came in the 45th minute, so he only has to play half a game. So he should honestly work his ass off in the entire game. And from what I've heard of why he got subbed off is because he wasn't tracking back. So when you're like a sub, technically from half point, and you're not tracking back, apparently he was good offensively, so that's what Tuchel was not too happy about.
Yeah, I feel like maybe he might want to try. I mean, was he loaned up before?
No, he was always at Chelsea. He was going to go to Bayern a few years ago, but
Yeah,
then he
I remember
signed a
that.
contract that's massive. He makes good money now.
Try to get a loan move. I mean, for example, you kind of look at Jesse Lingard right now. He went to West Ham. He's having a great time. So, I mean, if you're unhappy, just try to get some way out of the club. Maybe a loan's better for him because he's younger.
It's not like he's not getting game time right now, though. He's getting,
Okay.
and it's a bit.
He is good. Don't get me wrong.
I think it's just a similar kind of treatment that Hansi Flick gave to Leroy Sané a couple weeks back, where he got subbed off after being subbed onto the pitch. I think it just shows. I think it just goes to the fact that not sure about how Leroy Sané is doing now, but Callum Hudson-Odoi just isn't putting in the work that he needs to be putting in Thomas Tuchel's eyes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So he probably just showed him
fair.
that, I'm in charge. And if you don't do what I want you to
anything
do,
else
bruv, you're out.
Anything else to comment on Chelsea Southampton or no?
I mean,
Nothing
yeah,
really
it's
happened. Looks like
nothing else to really say. It's just a missed opportunity for Chelsea, but we can. I just want to quickly mention Wolves defeated Leeds United on Friday 1-0. Decent match, but unlucky.
I mean, good
great strike
result
by
for them.
Adama in that game.
They need points, so they haven't had the best of seasons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good on them.
And then also Burnley versus West Brom ended 0-0. So let's just move on.
With a red card.
Should we go to West Ham?
Yeah, let's go. Big win for the Hammers.
Yeah.
2-1 victory over Spurs, and Jesse Lingard with another goal.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Also, I forgot
Good or no?
Wait, first thing, we forgot to mention Burnley drew West Brom 0-0, but there's not really much to cover, is there?
We just said
Lucas
that.
just said that.
Oh, sorry, I was okay. You know what? I zone out so quickly and I ignore everything. That's my bad. It's the
You
worst
zoned out
habit I
for
have.
2 seconds.
So, anyways, yeah, I was searching up just the table real quick. I was looking. So my bad, lads.
All right.
Anyways, yes. Go ahead.
Well, we were just saying.
You were
Matt was
talking,
saying
huh?
how you're feeling about
Oh.
Jay Lings.
I'm happy for him. It's great to see him having fun and putting a smile. You know, we as United supporters, we want to see him do well. You know, he was a bit of a fan favorite until things kind of just fell off for him. So it's good
Was
to see
he a
him
fan
performing.
favorite or was he a meme?
No, he was actually a fan favorite. People loved him, especially when he danced on the Emirates. Come on, he helped us win the FA
Come
Cup.
on, dude.
Come on, dude.
Come on.
Yeah, now he's putting
Now he's
Jose to
scoring game
shame.
winners against Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, his former manager. It's
That's a
great.
fucking
So-
mad lad. I can't deny that.
And the celebrations he's bringing out is amazing. Like, he comes to West Ham, he just starts scoring. And but Spurs fans, Oh, they gotta be feeling pain. They're in pain. This is apparently Jose Mourinho's worst run of form in his whole entire managerial career.
They're ninth, boys. I have a shot at this. My season might not be
Yeah,
fucked.
I remember when. Well, I remember at the start of the season, Spurs were actually playing really well. They're at the top of the table. Oh, can they win the league? And Matt was looking like an idiot, and now he's looking pretty right.
Yeah.
So, in the last 5 games, Tottenham have 1 win.
Yeah,
And
it's
4
really not
losses.
good for them. And it's kind of like going to the part with Liverpool. Are they just on a bad run of form and they'll pick it back up, or is it kind of that downhill drop that like people are just seeing right now?
No, it's I don't know how they're gonna get. They just don't look like they have what it takes to really fight out of that. They have the players, but I know how Jose Mourinho's sides work, and just I don't know if
He plays so defensively, but his defensive players aren't playing good right now. So
yeah,
I know he said after the game, like someone asked him if he was questioning himself. He said, "No, not at all. The results are the consequence of multiple situations in football. Mine and my coaching staff methods are second to nobody in the world."
There.
But on the other side, David
No.
Moyes, like this is incredible for West Ham being in the top 4 at this point of the season. I think this is like the best they've been playing since like that Slaven Bilic season with Payet.
yeah.
And that was a fun
I mean,
time.
credit to David Moyes.
Well,
He's
they
a
play
very
Man City
experienced
next week,
manager.
so-
Yeah. He
Yeah,
said
that'll be actually an interesting game.
he said after the match, he said, "I'm laughing. The question you asked me there was, are you pleased Chelsea dropped points?"
Honestly,
joke?
yeah. I think David Moyes deserves this because he's been, in the he's managed in the Premier League for years. I mean, I know he went to Spain for a bit. That was a bit of a weird experiment, but yeah, no, to take West Ham to 4th, good for him. I remember when he first took over United, we wanted him to do so well, and then everything, of course, unfolded the way it did.
Maybe he'll come
But
back.
good for him. Oh God, no! Please,
Oh God, no.
That's the thing with West Ham,
We're
which
okay, we're okay in second at the moment.
just quickly, but that's what we were talking about with last season. West Ham, like almost relegated, and like
Yeah.
they changed up their team a decent bit, a lot of attacking, but players actually just showed up this season. It's like last season they had the players, they just didn't play good.
It's kind of
This season,
similar
they're
with
actually playing
it's
good.
kind of like Villa this year as well. They stuck with their team, their manager, and look how they're doing.
I think West Ham got rid of some players that just weren't fitting in, like Felipe Anderson, Haller. They got rid of those guys, and
Yeah,
they brought in some other players that are decent options. Like last season, they brought in Bowen. This summer, they brought in Ben Rama. There's some solid players in there. Declan Rice is doing solid job. Souček as well. Of course, Antonio. Like they just bring in simple players maybe not for too much money, but like players that work well in what the roles they have, and it's paying dividends for them right now.
And J-Lings.
yeah. And I mean, if West Ham somehow get
Superstar.
Champions League, jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
so
what we were saying in the
essentially-
stream. Imagine West Ham going away to Barcelona.
West Ham.
if
West
it was
Ham's a
this season,
London
they
club,
probably beat
correct?
us. To
Like,
be honest.
Yes.
could you imagine next season West Ham's the only London club in the Champions League?
That'd be hilarious.
Kind of funny.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they don't play Bayern.
Jeez. So
Should we move on out of
yeah,
London
Chelsea's now
and
in
get to
5th
Manchester?
as well.
Yeah. Let's quickly.
Hey.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
what?
What the hell was that reaction?
Oh, I was just excited because we were moving to Chelsea, but Leicester beat Villa 2-1. James Maddison with a great strike. James Madison's probably, I think, one of my favorite players that doesn't play for Man United. I don't know why. I smile when I hear he scores. Just,
You
always know
had
it's
that
gonna
with Jack Grealish last season, though, too.
Yeah, I know. I love those two. But James Madison, for me, I don't know why. He reminds me of the English Bruno. But a little bit different.
Yeah. But
A lot.
something with Aston Villa though. Jack Grealish apparently he's got some like shin splits problems or something.
Oh, I heard about that, yeah.
I don't know. It's really confusing because he had this problem earlier in his career, and doctors back then said they didn't know how to deal with it or really anything. And he seems like he's gonna be out for a month, which sucks for Villa. Luckily, they're in a decent
wow.
position right now. Just
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough for them to
Blame
lose
it
their
on his
best player.
socks. If you put his socks above his shins, you wouldn't have these issues.
The man also gets tackled like crazy because that's just how his play style is.
I'm interested to see who kind of steps up for Villa and how well they can do without him. It's kind of like, for example, taking Bruno out of United. We'll see how they do, right?
Yeah.
At least it's not like last season where if Grealish went down last season when they're trying to stay up in the Prem like that.
Yeah, they're in a good position.
They're in a good spot, yeah.
City. I did a watch along of that against Arsenal. 1-0 City. Kind of a boring game, but early goal from Raheem Sterling, second minute.
And then nothing.
Yeah, we kind of expected maybe it's steamrolling, but no. It was a good header by Raheem Sterling. He kind of just strolled into the box. It was a cross from, I think, Mahrez maybe, and then just heads it home.
Yeah.
That puts Man City 10 points ahead now.
Yeah, they're probably gonna. There's no.
And that's the thing. Like, what is it? It's Arsenal and Spurs down in 9th and 10th. Yep. Absolute
Wolves
scenes,
11th.
honestly. Like, what the hell's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Teams that you predict to be in that top 6, and they're just not there.
I don't think Arsenal were too bad in this game, but Manchester City, even if they're not scoring goals, they're not conceding any right now this season, and they've completely fixed the problem they had last year, where it was so easy to get behind them, find open spaces, and score relatively a simple goal on them. But this season, they're set up in a way where they cover spaces well. They have great players this season. Not really any big injuries to any of their back line, and everyone's just stepping up, and it's great for them this season. And could that be something could they win the Champions League this year? That's going to be a big question because the Premier League seems granted now.
Yeah,
I think they are gonna get. I think they're the title. They've won the title. I kind of just say that already. It's early.
Oh yeah, United was in the race until we decided to lose to Sheffield United, and then
they're 10 points away and they're not slowing down. It's
gonna
be.
And I mean, when we first saw the game last week, City Arsenal, we expected kind of like a smacking, but 1-0, kind of lucky to get away with that.
But this is
Arsenal created some chances. He's okay, but he was not good enough.
But that's exactly where Lucas is talking about. Where yes, I don't know, it's like that. But this is exactly where Lucas is talking about. Like in years past, or especially last year, this is a game City would have drew or lost because if they're not scoring, they're conceding. But here they get the 1-0 victory, which they've been doing a lot this season.
Yeah, it's mad.
Exactly.
And it was crazy. They're doing all of this without an actual number 9 up front.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're having so many different players contribute offensively. I mean, John Stones, for example, Gundogan, Sterling is starting to play really well again. Mahrez. The team is in fantastic form.
It'd be funny if Pep revolutionized
people
football in a way where number 9s are no longer needed.
Just mids everywhere.
I mean, just imagine when he does get an actual number 9 in there. It's
didn't Bernardo Silva start up a striker today?
Look at the lineups real quick here. He ran a 4-3-3
I think
with Raheem, Bernardo, and Mahrez as a front three.
Jesus.
So they're going. It's going well for them. But let's move on to the last game because it was a little nervy for a bit, but Manchester United got the 3-1 victory.
This is gonna sound real weird quickly. Just glory, glory, Man United. Thank you, Ozzy.
Well, Greg, you're in a relegation battle, and you needed this. So, yeah, big ups to it was a good game. I thought we controlled it well. I mean, the goal that St. Maximum scored was a good goal. It was a great strike. Just Harry Maguire tried to clear the corner. It bounced him. And he's like, I'm gonna shoot. I'm like, okay. But Rashford played great. He had a great strike to go near post. Daniel James scored. That was nice. He
had another great game.
Yeah, he's been playing better. And Bruno scores a penalty. And I mean, Newcastle's not happy with that, but that's United, really.
Well,
Harry Maguire actually, that's a fun fact.
That's his trademark.
Yeah, Matic actually had a very lucky pass. I'd say that Dan James kind of went through traffic. I know Bruno kind of tried to take a poke at that, but good on him. And Donny van de Beek, unfortunately, didn't start. I know people were hoping he would start, but just overall, I thought it was a great game from United. We took control, we scored, we took our chances. That's what we needed after a big game against Sociedad as well. And, we've been struggling against those bottom sides, so I'm glad we got the result. Lindelof and Maguire still, I was kind of nervy with them in the back. But, yeah, good. I mean, great goal from Maximum, though. That was a great shot. And what else can I say? And then who came on? It was Shola Shoratire. I can't say it well enough.
Shoratire.
Shoratire, yeah. It's pronounced much differently. But yeah, it was good to see the 17-year-old come on.
Did Ahmad come on?
No, he did not. But he'll come against Sociedad probably. Yeah. So unfortunately, Shola and Ahmad have started playing more than Van de Beek right now. So that's kind of weird. Van de Beek I know is injured right now. So to be fair, yeah,
I mean, let's be realistic. If he was fucking not injured, he probably wouldn't play anyways.
Yeah. You never know, but the odds are high. That
Just finishing the Prem is Brighton Crystal Palace tomorrow though, and
a lot of footy coming up. Obviously, let's quickly move on to Champions League.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything else we need to cover. Apologies if we missed anything.
Great week.
Yeah,
European football.
By the way,
Champions League back. That's just.
I was gonna say, if we missed anything in the Premier League, don't forget to comment below. Let us know your thoughts and everything that happened.
Just don't do it in a way where you.
Champions League where.
Don't do it in a way where you're like, how did you not talk about this? Sorry, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Maddie, I'm sorry.
I mean,
we all know what happened. If you want to watch our reaction to that match, it's up on our channel. It's doing well. So basically, Mbappe happened. But a couple of other matches quickly. Porto defeating Juventus 2-1. Some people thinking, are they the new underdog this year? I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows?
I mean, they're very good defensively. They're very hard to break down. I know Manchester City earlier
they played
this
a good game.
Had trouble breaking them down.
But let's look forward to the couple of matches coming up. We have Atletico versus Chelsea, Lazio versus Bayern, Atalanta Real Madrid, Gladbach versus City.
I swear to God, Real Madrid plays Atlanta every fucking year, no?
It seems like it, yeah.
Let's just keep remembering this fixture. Regardless.
I think the game to watch definitely is Lazio versus Bayern, considering Bayern lost over the weekend and they were starting some of their key players.
Some
people have been saying Bayern are not really. True. I know Bayern's not in good form. There's a lot of Italian fans who are kind of confident in Lazio that they can cause an upset.
I mean, Lazio are playing very well recently. They did lose to Inter last week, but their team is very good all around. And Bayern are just very inconsistent now. Like after the Club World Cup victory, they drew Armenia 3-3, and then now like you mentioned, they did lose to Frankfurt this weekend.
Yeah,
I think they've had a lot of problems with injuries and the virus as well. I know some players are supposed to return this Tuesday, but they also had Tolisso. He got injured for a thigh injury for 3 months, so he's going to be missing for probably the rest of the season. Lots of problems for them, and it's going to be more nervy for them because there's a lot of pressure on Bayern to repeat the Champions League victory. They're the favorites to most people, and on Lazio, like if they don't win this tie, people aren't going to be mad at them. It's probably expected that they don't win.
I think it's one of those things where it's like, don't be completely shocked if Lazio cause an upset right now, the way things are going.
Yeah, but I agree with Matt quickly though. I'm very curious with Manchester City Gladbach because, in all honesty, Gladbach's probably the worst team out of the 16, and City right now are the best team.
No, Gladbach, they got some players. I like Elvedi, Zakaria's nice.
I'm not denying they're a good team, was. I'm just saying Manchester City's on a different level right now.
It's just, well, Pep finally figured it out.
Exactly, that's the point I'm trying to get at.
It's not like Pep Guardiola hasn't won Champions League ties with Manchester City before. I know they defeated Basel one year and somebody else another year.
They took out Real Madrid last year.
Yeah, well, that was a one-legged affair, and they did end up losing the next round, which was the quarterfinals. Yeah. So the key thing is, can Manchester City make it to at least the semifinals, somewhere they haven't been with Pep Guardiola yet? It's definitely possible. That they've been given a tie here where they should be winning on paper. We'll see whether they get that victory or not. I think Gladbach will make things tough for them, but it's hard to bet against Manchester City right now.
100%.
Exactly. It seems everyone's very confident in City this year. There's just a different vibe to them. They seem so more dominant, confident. Not too many injuries, and even when they're injured, they're still pretty damn good.
It's not so much that; it's just that they have a good defensive core. Finally,
That's true. Their defense has been playing so solid.
that's it.
Real Madrid, Atalanta. I mean, not a lot of people have had a lot of faith in Real Madrid recently, so this is an interesting tie.
I can see an upset here as well. Honestly, Atalanta's against in matches that are more important, Atalanta are just incredible to watch. I know they've had some bad results in Serie in the past month where they drew or lost games against teams they probably should be beating, but against teams around their level or even better than them, they always just in some way step up, and this time they get to have Ilicic playing for them in the Champions League. I think
I'll be good.
he missed the tie against PSG last year, so it'll be great to see how he does against Real Madrid. Real Madrid, they did win this weekend, but will they be able to bring themselves up? Will Zidane be able to bring on another run of form? He's been known for winning Champions Leagues with Real Madrid, but last season didn't go too well.
Yeah. We also have Atletico versus Chelsea.
I think Atletico should probably take that.
Tuchel versus Simeone. I mean, Atletico have been very good. Suarez has been
I think Atletico's
different sauce. Yeah. The question is, will be an over/under. Can Atletico really put the goals past Chelsea? They're not really known for it, but the way Suarez is playing, you never know.
I mean, they had a poor performance this weekend. They lost, I think, to Levante, but Levante is actually quite underrated in La Liga. I think Atletico Madrid are the favorites, one of the better sides in Europe this season. Chelsea, despite having a new manager, chance creation's a thing I'm concerned with them sometimes, and even just finishing simple chances. So I think they'll definitely have a hard time against Atletico Madrid, and I think Atletico Madrid will advance in this tie.
Next up, that's really it for Champions League coming up. Don't forget to check out our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/the90th-minute official. We'll be doing a watch-along live reaction to the matches Tuesday and Wednesday, so don't forget to check that out. Link will be in the description. Next up, Europa League. I mean, same round of matches is happening. The second legs. United should go through. They dismantled Sociedad. Let's just move on to Serie A.
Yeah. We did mention some of the games in that Champions League thing, so we'll go through them a little quickly. But the Milan derby, lads, probably the biggest one in like 9-10 years.
Now, ideally, most of us were going to wake up to watch this, but we didn't, except for Lucas. So credit to him.
Yeah, I did not.
But yeah, Inter defeats Milan 3-0, and bit of a bigger score margin than I expected.
3-0.
3-0. AC Milan haven't been in the best form recently. They did draw against Red Star Belgrade in the Europa League this past Thursday, and I think Inter Milan, they were in the first half for sure. They were the better team. Lukaku he's just on another level right now.
Yeah, good for him.
Like, I think the commentator said he now has 300 career goals at 27 years of age, which, well, other than Messi and Ronaldo, that's insane. I'll just never forget Lukaku the first time I saw him. Well, the second time, because the first time I saw him, the Champions League, he was playing for Anderlecht as like a 16, 17-year-old. The guy was just massive. But then one time, I was in the hospital because I was getting my appendix removed. And then, they had a small monitor for TV. So I was watching some Premier League. It was the first match day of the season. It was, I think, Chelsea versus Wigan. It was the match where Drogba got knocked out. It's funny to laugh about that now, but that must have been terrible for him at the time. But there's a guy coming on. I'm like, wait, no, it's not him. It was Lukaku at Chelsea. And I was so worried. I thought he would be like the next big thing for Chelsea because I heard all these good things of him at Anderlecht. But
I mean, do you forget at West Brom where he scored a hat-trick against Ferguson in his last game ever, the 5-5?
Yeah, he's had a lot of struggles in his career, like since his Everton leave, but he's definitely revolutionized himself and is one of the best strikers in the world.
He started off well at United. He had a really good first season, and then he just couldn't find any form. He wasn't playing well. His touch was awful with us. I think Conte really changed him as a player and put a lot of effort into him. So that's what you're seeing, kind of the rewards being reaped at Inter right now. And credit to them. He had a nice assist as well.
Yeah, that was for the first goal.
A nice cross.
You just see him. He's like a leader out there. He's just communicating with everyone. And he's just someone who wants to win.
He wants to win a title. Like, how many titles has he really won? Not many.
Yeah, not many. And, of course, Lautaro Martinez, he had a brace. Well, fortunately for AC Milan, in the first half, they weren't the best. Second half, they were better, but they're so susceptible to counterattacks that it was just easy pickings for Inter Milan. And I think Inter got the deserved victory.
I heard Handanovic played pretty good in this game.
Yeah,
he had made some pretty big saves.
Yeah, he had one big save where everyone's going nuts. I think I missed it because I was in the shower. But
unfortunately, yeah, for Milan, though, their fans should be kind of, worried. They're kind of letting the title slip. They haven't been in the greatest form. I think they've had some injuries, to be fair, COVID and whatnot. So Inter is looking like the favorite right now. Juventus, like Liam, has been, kissing their ass. They're right now with 42 points, while Inter is 43.
They have 2 games in hand, though.
Yeah, I know, but
you just don't.
But yeah, no, Inter's definitely in the driving seat. Inter's definitely in the driving seat right now. Honestly, it's theirs to lose right now.
Inter has to be the favorite.
Just can they continue the good form?
They're not in European football. If they don't win Serie A, it's a disgrace. Honestly,
they're not in They only have the league, so they got knocked out of the cup too, right?
Yeah.
So they only have the league to focus on. So they should have their players fresh, ready to go for it. And
but for AC Milan, look, in the beginning of the season, the goal was to make Champions League. They just got to make sure they don't drop out of the top 4. The title would have been nice for them this season. I'm not saying it's over, but Inter's definitely looking like the stronger side. AC Milan are still competing in Europe and are still a younger team compared to them. I think if AC Milan can maintain a top 4 spot, I think they'll be happy with this season.
AC Milan fans should just be happy where they're at.
Yeah.
They really should.
At this point, that last season, no one would have seen this shit coming. So,
but they got to be careful. Those teams, like 1st to 7th, is honestly pretty close for the Champions League spot.
Just covering Serie, Napoli. I mean, there's some concern there. Then 7th, they lost to Atalanta 4-2. Also, like, hey, I took over that Napoli team in career mode. You can see why it just didn't work. You can see why it didn't work. It's showing right here.
One thing about this Napoli Atalanta game, which was so funny, was at halftime, those just like, oh, it's 0-0 at half, and we're just like, okay, like I don't think many people heard it. This was during our watch along.
Oh, hold on, Liam has shown up. Yes, Liam is here. He's shown up.
Yeah.
But Greg, you're making your point.
Oh, I was just saying, was told us that it was 0-0 at halftime during our watch along for the Manchester City game, and it became 4-2 all of a sudden, and we're all like, Woz must have been lying, and we're like, no, there was actually 6 goals in the second half.
Jeez,
this is insane.
So, yeah. Liam, we're just kind of wrapping up Serie A anyways.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the only thing I would say with Serie A is that's a huge result there for Inter Milan.
Juventus still going to win it? Can still win it?
It definitely is looking a lot more difficult. I would thought Inter Milan would drop a few points. I mean, Juve do have 2 games in hand, and there's still a ways to go, but Inter Milan are definitely in the driver's seat of this one.
Yeah. Anything else we should cover? I mean, Juve play Crotone tomorrow. I don't know or today when this is released, so I don't know if that's gonna be. Yeah, nothing like eye-catching too much. The big matches were played. Roma drew Benevento 0-0. So
yeah, let's move on.
Bad result.
I didn't really pay attention to the rest of the Serie A this weekend. I just watched the Milan derby.
Come on, Lucas. This is your league, Lucas. You're the hipster.
Bundesliga, just a little bit wild stuff. Bayern lost. We mentioned that earlier. To Frankfurt 2-1.
I wish I could
insert. A lot of weird results around Europe this year.
Honestly, yeah, you're not wrong, Liam. Yeah.
You know what wasn't a weird result? 4-0 Dortmund over Schalke.
No, that's too big.
What a goal by Haaland, bro.
That goal was amazing. Well, that was a great, scissor kick volley was wild. Really the amount of distance he got in the air, too, was like, wow.
Good result for Leipzig, 3-0 over Hertha Berlin. That's a good result there for them.
Woz, do you want to make that Schalke pun?
Schalke 04. Yeah, Lucas Podolski was having some fun on Twitter where he tweeted out Schalke 04 because they lost 4-0 to Dortmund. I'm like, Ah, Lucas Podolski, I miss you. I miss when you're more relevant in football.
The banter was elite.
Let's talk a little bit more about that Bayern Munich result, though. I mean, they lost. So far this season, 4 draws, 3 losses. That's kind of shocking compared to the Bayern of last season that was nearly invincible kind of thing.
I mean,
the thing is, Leipzig's right on their tail.
They are. There's actually a title race happening right now.
Yeah.
2 points.
well, whether Bayern can hold on, it's getting a lot tighter. Again, Bayern haven't been the perfect team in the Bundesliga for the past handful of years. They were a lot better last season compared to other years, but I think a lot of Bundesliga sides, especially I'm looking at you, Dortmund, they've missed so many opportunities to win the Bundesliga title when Bayern haven't been at their best.
Basically dethrone Bayern, yeah.
Like there's several teams doing well this season for their level, like Wolfsburg, Eintracht Frankfurt. They're doing very well for themselves compared to the previous seasons. And can Leipzig potentially dethrone Bayern with Bayern having many injuries and problems? And
I mean,
a smart man wouldn't bet against Bayern, though.
No, I would never bet against Bayern Munich.
You never do.
But at the same time, Leipzig, their defense has been great. They've only conceded 18 goals so far this season. That's incredible for them. Yes, they are losing a key part of that defense next season, but could this season just be kind of like maybe we can make it happen kind of thing?
They lost Alba and picked up Upamecano. I think they're gonna be fine.
I mean,
Bayern will. I'm saying Leipzig. I'm saying Leipzig losing a big part of their center back pairing.
Classic Bayern teams competing with them, and then they're able to buy
Steals their best player.
Exactly. Oh, my light turned off.
Bayern and Leipzig, by the way, they don't play each other until April 3rd, 10:30 in the morning for us.
Hopefully,
It's a massive game.
Until then, Bayern to play Dortmund March 6th, so Dortmund could do Leipzig a favor. Right now, it's Bayern on 49 points, Leipzig with 47. Wolfsburg's actually in 3rd with 42. Not many people have actually talked about them this season that much. I've noticed. It's been kind of quiet.
Yeah, Wolfsburg and Frankfurt, they only have 2 losses all season. That's crazy.
While Dortmund are in 6th with that they gotta sort themselves out.
The thing is, Frankfurt defeated Bayern without their best player.
Yeah, honestly.
Andre Silva, who's
and while
just
Bayern, they have been playing their. He won that Player of the Month for the Bundesliga.
Yeah. I think we should move on. Let's just quickly touch up on La Liga and Liga. La Liga, Matt, unlucky.
We've had worse weeks.
You had a chance. The
Lost
door was
Khabib.
open, and you're like, no, not today. Sorry.
Dude, I'm good with Champions League places this year. I don't know what the fuck you guys. I don't want to win the league. I don't think we're gonna win the league. I don't give a fuck about
guys
second.
all
As long as
suck.
we finish above 4th, we're good.
Yeah, because
Oh, nice to me.
Sevilla's in
guys
good
will
form
suck.
right now.
I mean, really. So Atletico Madrid, they dropped points 2-0 versus Levante. Another big result there because that's 2 games in a row they dropped points. And Real Madrid, they pick up ground by winning 1-0 over Valladolid. And Barca, they draw 1-1 versus Cadiz. Really, I think La Liga title is going to Madrid this season, whether it's Atletico or Real, that is up for debate still. But Barcelona, I think you're out of the title race.
I don't think we were in the title race at any point in time this year. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean,
Being honest,
like
Day one, you
there's-
were.
Yeah, they're still a good bit behind, but anything can happen. There's still quite a few games left.
At least Messi scored.
That's nice.
He
That's
scored
so
a penalty.
nice.
honestly, I told you before.
That's
I
really
just want Champions League. That way,
Or
2 of us are
round
gonna make it
16.
Champions League in this group, which will be fucking blessed.
I might. You never know.
I'm part of that because we might be in the championship.
Greg, you weren't included. Don't worry, man. I wouldn't disrespect you like that. We know you're not going.
Yeah, so. But what else was I going to talk about? Right, so there's one topic I wanted to bring up before we get into questions. There's some things that. Here's the thing: Haaland versus Mbappe. Will they?
that.
Is this the new? Is this
I
the
don't
new
want that
rivalry?
conversation. I don't want that conversation.
Why?
Because why are we having to compare these two?
I mean, but people
I've gone
compare
through a
Messi-
decade of comparing Messi versus Ronaldo instead of just enjoying 2 fantastic footballers. I'm not doing that for the next decade.
You're
Weren't
not a fan
weren't you
of
the
him?
guy
They're
like?
both great. Love them both.
Weren't you guy like 2 months ago who's like, yo, Ronaldo's better than Messi, yo. Ronaldo's better than Messi. I swear that was you, wasn't it?
I'm
Wasn't
the
it?
guy that says I would rather have Ronaldo on my team.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he's better. I'd rather have him on my team.
My guy's
But,
backpedaling.
why
I
do we
remember something
compare?
different.
Why
something
do we
different.
have to compare these two? They're both
Every
great.
generation has those two stars.
They're great. They're great. Both
I
of
mean,
them.
not true,
I
Waz.
think that. I mean, I feel like most generations have like.
Most generations
that's
have
what
one.
is.
I mean, no, the mid 2000s. You know, you had Zidane, Ronaldinho, Kaká, like that. R9 to an extent.
Maybe it's more so in the 21st century, but like Pele's generation, it was really just Pele because he didn't really play in Europe. There was
Well, I feel
Maradona,
like there
no
was
one was competing with
Bobby
Maradona.
Charlton?
Cruyff.
I feel like
wasn't
there was
people-
more players than them, but it's just that people were just solely focused on them. Because when did Maradona play?
Two people dominated the headlines.
In the
I mean,
80s.
80s, yeah.
There was a lot of good players in the 80s. There were.
Ruud
there
Gullit.
was. Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of good players in the 80s. Like, I feel like people just
The 70s, you had
put
Johan
the focus
Cruyff.
on them. So,
But no, the Mbappe Haaland, I'm excited to see the two of them go head to head over the next decade or whatever. I'm really excited to see where their careers end up and where teams they end up going to and establishing their mark on football's history. But I want to enjoy them, man. They're both great.
Who do you
Both have
wanna
their own
enjoy them.
skill
Who
set.
do you prefer?
Mbappe. But I love Haaland then.
Lucas?
I would take either, really.
I
I'm
want.
not just saying this
I'd
'cause
love
he
them to go to
pocketed
the
a
same
hat-trick against me,
league.
but I love Haaland, man. That guy's energy is infectious.
Haaland has been exactly. His energy is different. Like you just look when he's on the
Such a
pitch, he's
gem.
hunting for goals.
He's just so big and he's so fast. Like
Yeah.
he's the
just running-
perfect.
He's
Off the
running,
pitch, too, though. The
uh,
guy's a gem. Hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, I think reporters don't like him too much. Like, can you just give us answer, please? Can you give us
Air
very
mystery,
detailed
man,
answer?
air
He's like,
mystery.
yeah. It's like no. Haaland, you scored 2 goals. How do you feel? Good.
Well, how else should I- That's a dumb question. How do you feel after scoring 3 goals? You scored 2 goals in the Champions League. How do you feel? Oh, I'm
You
pretty
remember what he
shit,
said?
actually, mate. You know, I'm kind of sad. I want food.
Remember what he said
no,
his-
no,
his
I'm
hat-trick
good.
goals
I
for his
wanted. I
girlfriends?
wanted hat trick.
You guys not remember that?
Just what?
But he said his hat-trick balls were his girlfriends. You see
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah, that's iconic.
But yeah, I know Haaland. I follow him on Twitter. He's like one of the few footballers I follow. But Mbappe, like I just remember watching him from Monaco just before the Champions League games against City, and then what happened afterwards is just like incredible. Just his rise up to the game and how much he's achieved already in
Yeah.
his career.
I was gonna say, speaking of Mbappe, there was a leak that Barca could have signed him back in like what 2017.
Everyone says they
Really,
could have
England
signed
could've
him.
signed him if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway.
but
Arsenal,
like,
Real Madrid.
after this,
Real
we
Madrid.
mentioned this after this performance. People are coming out saying, "Oh, we could have signed him."
Scored a hat trick. It's like,
enough.
oh, he could have scored a hat trick for me. We would have been in the Champions League. It's like, well,
Yeah.
why didn't you?
Yeah, Blackburn could have had Lewandowski.
Yep. A volcano happened. Before we go to questions, can we talk about France?
Yeah,
Sure.
huge
Because
result.
PSG lost today.
Yeah, to Monaco.
Yes.
Lost 2-0 versus Monaco. PSG currently third in Ligue 1, 54 points. Ahead of them is Lyon, 55, and Lille in first on 58 points. A good little title race happening in Ligue 1. Love to see it.
How did you lose to PSG when the? Well, maybe League On is not as a farmers league as many
Well,
say.
maybe it's not.
League. We lost to a team in the Farmers League.
This team might not even. I mean, yeah, PSG. Imagine if they get third. They probably won't, but go Lille, Jonathan David.
Yeah,
Canadian lad.
Lille, this week's results, Lyon did beat Brest 3-2. And
Brest.
Lille beat Lorient 4-1. Good results there for both those guys.
Marseille, we don't talk
Love
about
to
them.
see it. Olympique Marseille. Well, they have a new manager coming in. Do you see that, Lucas?
Who is it?
The ex-Argentina man.
Oh, really? Wait.
Yes. Yes.
Wait. The bald man?
A bald man.
Yes,
guy
the
who's
bald
also
man.
a
The
Chile
bald man.
Marseille agreement with Jorge Sampaoli.
Really? Okay.
According to Fabrizio Romano. Here we go.
I know. Okay,
He'll be
that's an
their new
interesting
manager
one.
until June 2023.
I'm surprised that guy's getting a job again after that fucking Argentina mishap.
The thing is, when he was
Yeah,
a
that
club
was a
manager
mess.
for Sevilla, he was so good with them for a period, and then when he was about to get the Argentina job, everything fell apart at Sevilla.
So according to Romano, the club made offers to Ernesto Valverde, Maurizio Sarri, Rafa Benitez, and a handful of other coaches. They were all turned down, and Sampaoli was the only guy that accepted.
That's how.
It's a bit of a tire fire there.
Of course.
Here's a fun fact from the Portuguese league. With today's 0-0 against Benfica, newly promoted Farense, I assume that's how it's pronounced, put an end to a 20-year-long streak of 41 games conceding goals in the Premier Liga. The last clean sheet before today was the 25th of November 2001.
That's wild.
Jeez.
That's wild.
So, yeah. It's just...
Is it questions time, Wazino baby?
Yeah, just another thing I want to point out. Mario Götze scored for PSV.
Good for him.
Welcome back, Mario.
Let's go, Mario.
So, I'm just looking for some little things on Reddit I can mention here. 8 days ago, Fulham were 10 points adrift to Newcastle now. After United's win, that gap stands at 3 points with no games in hand. Yeah.
Fulham have done so well recently, and Newcastle, after that result against United, they're definitely well and truly in the relegation fight.
PSG have now just won 1 point from a possible 12 against their rivals for the title against Monaco, Lille, and Lyon. Jeez.
Not great over there at
This
PSG
is,
right
and
now.
Guardiola has this to say about Arteta. Mikel knows everything. He's so good. He's so clever. I learned a lot watching his teams. He knows everything about football.
Why'd you have to say it like that, man?
Because it's the Wazino Pep impersonation.
be so
Lucas
fucking
has his
weird?
Italian impersonation. That's his Pep
It's
impersonation.
just so strange, though. Like,
Pep was looking
Whatever.
good today, though. You
Oh,
gotta admit.
right. The one thing we need to bring up, Lucas. Frank Kessie.
Oh,
El Presidente.
Honk.
Where's the quote? Oh my
it's in our
god.
group chat.
I'm trying
that's
to
my
pull it up
guy.
right
Everyone
now.
knows that's my
Frank.
I got it. So Kessie on why he is really called a president. Once I arrived in Milanello, I'm sorry if I'm shit. I parked in Gadizzi's spot. They told me it couldn't be done. I said, what? What's the problem? I'm the new CEO of Milan.
Hey, man.
guy. This guy's such a
A
king.
man's
dude.
got to do what a man's got to do, okay? He
That's
wanted to
such a
park, he
king.
parked his car, okay?
Here's some of the replies. Kessie is Zlatan's idol. Nah, Ibra parks on the pitch, fam. Zlatan parks in Gazidis
He
house.
just owns the parking lot.
Zlatan Parks, like,
Wonder what Gazidis' reaction was. This was a total power move. He definitely gave him a race. God.
Just an alpha male, dude. Like,
It is.
Alpha
It's
male.
alpha male energy.
First question: do you guys think Neymar reached his full potential? I would say
Yes.
so. He's
see why not.
arguably
He's-
top 3 in the world when he's playing at his peak ability.
It's pretty decent.
I mean,
he's all right.
I guess maybe he may have harmed his legacy a little bit by going to PSG, but
Did
And
he though,
then-
or did he just become his own player then?
I
It was
think
no
he
longer
wanted
with
to
Messi.
escape,
He was
he wanted to escape Messi's shadow, and I think he could have had the chance if he stayed a bit longer, but he really wanted to bring a Champions League to Paris. I think that's his
Plus,
goal
I mean,
right
the
now.
money helped. The money was
Oh,
nice.
MSN
but-
for a few more years at Barca would have been some nasty, though. Let me
Yeah.
tell you.
I just don't think he reached the best of his abilities due to his injuries. I think he's
Injuries did play a part.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of moments that we could have seen that and could have remembered of Neymar, but we weren't able to because he was injured.
Or at his sister's birthday.
No, that's very fair. Yeah.
Okay, man.
I mean,
But yeah, I
Hazard,
agree
that's
with
a different
Lucas.
question.
Never forget Neymar at the 2012 Olympics. The streets will never forget.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
Next question. What's the worst team but has a good history? Celtic?
Whoa, whoa! Why are you coming at me with this hate,
I'm gonna
big
turn
man?
off my
Just
mic
saying,
to
man.
do this. I'm gonna turn off my mic to do this.
Nottingham Forest, like Nottingham Forest.
That's a mic drop, lads.
There's a
His team sucks.
That's a mic drop. That was aggressive, man. That was so aggressive. I'm gonna say like Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest is like one of the clubs that comes
Sunderland.
right to me.
Wimbledon?
Sunderland, man.
Because they became MK
AFC
Dons.
Wimbledon, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams down in the lower leagues of England that
That
have
were- that
great
up
history.
there. Yeah,
1860
exactly.
Munich.
Would you say
Torino used to
Yeah.
be very good.
what, Red Star Belgrade?
I mean, they're still in the Champions League. They're all right.
Yeah.
Malaga.
Malaga's a good one because they were nearly in the Champions League semi-final one year. Now they're
They
like
were.
nearly relegated from the second division.
Yeah, even Greg can beat them.
Fulham.
Fulham's in the Prem, big man.
Okay. Anyways, let us continue. Next question: the most hyped Euro game, but did not deliver. I won't lie. There's been a couple Italian matches throughout the last couple of years.
Any game you expect Italy to win in the last 8 years.
I'm trying to think of the top of my head, but since the fact it did not deliver, I can't really remember it. I want to say, I don't know, 2012, maybe France versus England. I can't remember.
I can't.
There definitely is a
stick
few,
in my mind, and it's probably because they are so fucking forgettable. So makes sense.
Aggressive, man. You're so aggressive.
It's
Not
true.
exactly.
Why the hell would I remember if the game
I
was
know,
shit?
exactly.
France, England, 1-1, 2012. I remember I was kind of hyped for that one back then, but yeah, Jolene Lescott scored, and Samir Nasri.
Lescott.
So there you go.
Those are names that I've just completely...
Oh, here, how about this one, actually? Italy versus Spain, 2012 final,
Oh,
where they got smacked 4-0.
and because Italy got so
Yeah.
many injuries, they ran out of
fair.
substitutes.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
That's coming us back to Italy.
I wasted all that data just to see Italy get smacked. So I was watching it on a camping trip. The phone bill wasn't good. I'll just say that.
That's dedication. I
Bill
guarantee you.
wasn't good.
okay, here's a question. That's great. I found it on TikTok. Can each of you say what is each of your unpopular football opinions? Let's go, Liam.
God, he's got can we give him 3? Here, I'll say one for you.
I mean,
Neuer is not a sweeper
To
keeper.
go off the... No, that's not my opinion. You don't even say it right.
Okay,
Neuer is. Ederson is not. Ederson's the ball playing keeper.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, Liam, say something else. We can't get into this again.
I'm not. I'm leaving it. I'm dropping it.
An unpopular football opinion. Mid-table La Liga clubs would not survive the Premier League drop.
Dude, have you seen the bottom of the Premier League? Those teams fucking
That's
suck.
my unpopular
Shut up.
opinion.
Those teams,
That's my unpopular opinion.
those teams suck.
Okay.
Pretty fair
Matt,
enough.
yours?
It's unpopular. Go me last. I'm thinking.
Okay, Lucas.
I think
Fakir's the best player in the world.
no. I mean, yes, but no. Let me just,
Yes, but no.
despite what he achieved with Chelsea, I think Eden Hazard didn't really live up to his playing ability, to what he could have been. With what you saw, what he did at
Injuries didn't
Lille,
help.
especially that last season at Lille,
Yeah.
he never
He's
really reached the heights of what he should have been in, what he should have done, in my opinion. Which maybe that's due to playing for more defensive managers during his career, but I think he could have done a lot more, despite the incredible things he did.
Essentially, what Lucas is saying is that he was very good at Chelsea, no doubt, one of the best players in the Premier League, but we don't ever thought he hit his ceiling. So
Which was very
He was-
high.
When he did at Chelsea,
Yeah.
his time at Chelsea, he was fantastic. But yes,
Greg, you have one?
I got
I'm,
one.
I'm really trying to think of something.
I got
Well,
one.
if you guys think of one, I'll just do mine. Ligue 1 and the Bundesliga are not farmers' leagues, and no top 5 league in Europe is a farmers' league.
I don't think it's really controversial though. That's just fact.
I mean, it's controversial to people who think it's a farmers' league.
They're just dumb.
The Premier League. The Premier League's top teams are severely overrated in comparison to the top teams in the rest of the world. People think that league is way fucking better than it really is.
He's got a point.
It's not that great.
Stop with the mic drops, man. Stop with the mic drops.
I'm gonna drop
One is
mic every-
enough.
I'm gonna drop mics left, right, center. No matter what I say at this point.
It's not how it works, man. It's not how it works.
I make
Greg, nothing?
I'm really trying to think of something, but
Fulham's a top level team in bad form.
I feel
They're bad luck.
that's kind of fair.
Their bad form just lasted for years.
Jamie Vardy can attribute all of his success to Red Bull's coffee and wine.
Jamie Vardy can suck your mother.
That's not an unpopular opinion.
It's probably true. Lionel Messi is only good because he's short.
Lionel Messi was only ever good because he had Xavi and Iniesta behind him.
You might, if that goes in, you might just get killed.
I'm clearly joking. I'm joking.
In the time, it was an unpopular opinion, probably, but like when Ousmane Dembele and Kylian Mbappe were both playing at the same time for Monaco and Dortmund respectively, I thought Dembele was the better player.
I think I did too.
I don't think that was an unpopular opinion.
That was cracked at Dortmund. Cracked, dude.
And I thought
honest,
he'd
he's
become
still
the
kinda
better
agree with
player.
that.
I thought
Honest,
Ousmane
he's still
Dembele-
kind of cracked whenever the fuck he's playing, but
It's just injuries just ruined
time.
that, man.
Yeah, unfortunately. And a lot of competition at Barcelona as well didn't help.
well, he has a starting spot pretty much locked down.
Okay,
Yeah, he did.
Here are some Instagram questions.
What about your unpopular opinion?
He said
I
it.
didn't answer it.
Oh, yeah, you did. Sorry, yeah, you did.
Sandman asks, what are some memorable North American national team moments? If any.
USA versus Belgium
Belgium.
and USA versus Algeria.
Big
Canada when they defeated the United States just
Yeah.
a year ago
Timmy. That was a
back.
big one.
Canada,
Unfortunately,
when
we
they
couldn't
caught
watch
the
it 'cause it wasn't on
schlong
TV,
from,
but-
Honduras, that was funny.
Oh my
I
god.
enjoyed that.
Honduras.
That was funny.
I was so
I'm
pissed.
Canadian. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. That was
When
hilarious.
when USA did not make a World Cup, even though they are by far the best team in their continent.
Well, Mexico's
Mexico
better
in
at
any
the
World
time,
Cup.
at least.
Because Mexican fans are sick.
Yeah.
Gotta love them.
When Jamaica made the
Ochoa.
Copa Gold Cup final, that was great.
When Canada won the Gold Cup in 2000.
That is true.
When
That did
Jamaican
happen.
fans had a
So-
hope that Usain Bolt would actually play
when-
for our national team.
When a young Canadian child from Edmonton decided to go to Germany and decided to fuck shit up.
Win the Champions League.
This man said,
Again,
hey,
team of the year.
I can run. Let me go do sports.
Next question from Isaac. Start one, bench one, sell one. Ronaldinho, Kaká, Pirlo.
Selling Pirlo, benching Kaká, starting Ronaldinho. Light work.
I'm going with that. I'll go with that.
It's light work.
I'm starting Dino. I'm benching Pirlo, and I'm selling Kaká.
That's what I'm doing.
I would.
You guys are
okay,
keeping
so, like,
Pirlo over Kaká?
I hate doing that.
Do you not forget how good Kaká was?
Kaká
I'm
was
not
amazing.
forgetting, but
I'm the tiebreaker.
Lucas, go ahead.
I'm the tiebreaker.
Go ahead, Lucas.
And I'm agreeing with Matt and Matt.
he's gonna agree with Maddie.
Dude,
It's Exactly.
Because Greg, you
No,
want to hear why? Because Lucas is a little Rasta fanboy. Because whatever Rasta wants, I'll do.
What?
No, that's bullshit,
Honestly,
man.
I don't.
Exact
I don't like,
opposite of how it usually is, to be honest.
Yeah.
but I don't like that because like Pirlo's a completely different player too. So
Yeah, I think all three of those players are actually very different players.
yeah.
Kaká's got some golden balls.
Pirlo's more deep lying. Well, Pirlo's more deep lying. I would say Kaká's more box to box, and then Dino is more attacking.
Kaká's more of like an attacking midfield.
Yeah. I think
He
you
can
would
defend as
somewhat
well, though.
compare
He
Kaká
gets
and
in.
Dino a
Gets stuck
little bit.
in.
Yeah.
I'd compare
honestly.
Kaká
More
and
so,
Dino,
you
but
can
Pirlo
compare
is
the two of them and compare
not
more to
similar at
Pirlo.
all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but if I had a
Pirlo's
choice,
more of
it's
a maestro.
Kaká was.
Okay, well, here's a
AC
better
Milan
question
Kaká.
though. If you could only have one in your team, who would you have out of the three?
Oh,
Are we all saying
that's the point
Dino?
of starting.
Dino.
I'll go Dino.
Dino. Okay, then we're
we all
said
said Dino.
yeah.
So
okay.
Next question from Mr. B. Tylera. Can City go undefeated for the rest of the season in all competitions? No, because I think
No.
a team, I think Atletico Madrid might actually beat them if they come up against them. Depends who they come up against, but I can see it.
No, Fulham will beat them.
And then Fulham will climb up into
Okay,
the Champions League
all right.
places.
You never know, man. Honestly, I don't think it's so tough to go undefeated in all competitions. But I mean, hey, you actually never know. They very well might.
I mean, they're probably just gonna lose a game that people don't expect them to lose. There's
Hey,
gonna be a lot of
you
hype
know,
coming up
Liverpool-
with something
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
Remember
Liverpool lost to
their
Watford.
their Centurion season where there's a lot of hype with them in the Champions League when they came up and played Liverpool, or they're about to clinch the Premier League title when they're coming up against Manchester United. Something like that's probably gonna happen and gonna lose a match.
Lucas, here's a question for you. Who do you think Liverpool have to bring in this summer to improve and help players push back to their peak? Who do you think they should sign?
I think they need a striker.
A striker would definitely do. Like, yeah.
Jota's the man.
Jota's not a striker. I
I think
think.
they need a striker.
Yeah, a striker.
A striker.
That can.
They need, like,
score goals.
I know it's completely different, but a Suarez kind of striker like that.
Just a
Bobby-
striker that
Bobby-
can. That
I
is
think
just.
Bobby's cutting it.
That is versatile and can score goals. Like, it's pretty simple, I think, for what I want. I think midfield, like, if like the defense is fit, maybe another. No, actually, we signed a lot of defenders, but maybe like a good defender.
Kabak could be an all right bench defender. Yeah.
Kabak is technically a loan with an option to buy. If we don't decide to buy
Fair
Kabak,
enough,
I'd
yeah.
like to buy a defender that is like levels like Koundé or something like that. I think midfield Liverpool will be fine if everyone's fit and the midfielders can actually play in midfield. But probably maybe another midfielder. I don't know. But yeah, definitely a striker, center back.
Do you want a goalkeeper who doesn't get chili toes?
No, Alisson's
Okay.
great.
Okay. Then he's okay then.
But he
Surely.
can't do it on a cold, rainy night in Stoke because his
Exactly.
kinda chilly,
Exactly. That's important.
that's drop points right there, Lucas. You got to take these into.
You will.
into
You will.
account.
You'll probably let go of Adrian probably, and Keller will be your backup. Fair enough. So you'll get a third string keeper in from somewhere. You can take Bardcast if you want.
Nothing.
Rip.
You can have him for free. I'll deliver him. I'll go from here in Canada. I'll fly to Glasgow, pick him up, drive him down to Liverpool, and say, "There you go, Jurgen. Have fun." I will personally do it.
Well, what type
we
of
good with that?
conversation will we have with him in the car ride there?
I don't know. He's Greek. I don't know if he speaks English, Lucas.
The awkward car ride.
Opa!
Last question. 2 questions I have. This one's a question for the pod. Which of these managers would do best in a non-league? Pep or Harry Redknapp? For
Harry
maybe
fucking
someone else.
Redknapp.
Or
Harry
someone,
fucking
or maybe
Redknapp.
someone else. Do you think they'd be able to take them to the Prem? Love the pod. Thank you, mate.
I don't know if Pep Guardiola would work in non-league football. I don't know if tiki-taka works
I think I got
on
agree with
a mud pitch. I don't know.
If
I
that
love
man,
Pep
if Pep
Guardiola,
tried to
but I'm really
manage
not
my
sure.
team, oh god, Pep
Pep
would lose his mind. Pep-
Mate, man, I gotta fucking work in the morning. What are you doing with hee-haws? I don't have time for
Shows
tiki-taka.
him,
No.
shows him to the pitch and like with a latte and scarf. Like, okay, guys, go down a bit.
He drives up in a Rolls Royce. He's like, no, mate. Harry Redknapp, though. That's where it's at, big man.
I think Harry Redknapp.
Bring Harry back to the Prem.
yeah,
Go Sean Dyche.
Sean Dyche would do well, yeah.
yeah. Get behind the ball, everyone.
Or what's the one manager? Neil Warnock.
Neil Warnock, yeah.
Sean Dyche is
Yeah.
a legend.
Last question here. Biggest what ifs in football from Ivan. Here's mine. I thought about this actually the other night. What if the Munich air disaster never happened? Would Duncan Edwards would he actually gone to become the best player of that generation instead of Pele?
Yeah.
Because people were saying he was like the best player they've ever seen. Would they have dethroned Real Madrid, who won so many Champions Leagues? There was so much hype around that team. They're so good. Would have England won more World Cups with that team, the Busby Babes?
Probably.
You know?
I think
What
the
if
World
for
Cup,
me would
I
be
think
more
the World
recently-
Cup stuff is plausible, but I don't think he'd be better than Pele.
Yeah. What if for me would be more recently? What if Lewandowski did go to Blackburn? What would his career be? Where would he have ended up? You know, like that would be insane if that transfer had gone through.
What if Mbappe went to Chelsea? He would
Or
have been on
58
loan
million
still.
different teams.
To be honest, he might still be on loan.
Fair enough.
At like
What
Vitesse or
if
some shit.
Ronaldinho signed? Mine are very United related. What if Ronaldinho actually signed for United?
What if Bartomeu never came
What
to
if Fulham
Barcelona?
won the Europa League?
Great.
What if Fulham won the Europa League?
That's a good point.
Yeah, Fulham would be the
if
powerhouse
Fulham-
team in England, while Atletico Madrid would be relegated and promoted constantly.
What if all the players who said they wanted to play for Celtic actually played for Celtic?
Funny enough, Matt, did you know that the guy who used to handle all Barca's transfers with Pep back in 2009 and whatnot ended up just leaving for City in 2012?
Fair enough.
What if Neymar stayed at Barcelona?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
one. What if
that's
he
a very
stayed,
good
yeah.
one.
We'd be
what-
very broke right now. Very, very broke. Broker than we currently are.
one
So
eye.
you have like stopped Real Madrid from winning those.
But I don't know if you
championships.
would, because you wouldn't have sold, you wouldn't have bought Coutinho, you wouldn't have bought Ousmane Dembele, you wouldn't have purchased all these other players, right?
I mean, Messi would still be making like 8 million,
Probably wouldn't have lost to
Yeah,
Liverpool.
but
'cause
I
they
mean,
wouldn't be able
if
to
you had
find
that
those
front
players.
three,
Neymar would be making like $1 trillion a year. Suarez would still probably be there making $1 trillion a year. So I don't know.
what if Liverpool could actually retain their title and actually fight for a fucking trophy?
Well, can I say mine, please?
Go ahead, Lucas. You deserve
Mine,
it.
man? Like, dude, what the fuck?
I'm just waiting to say
Simp.
mine. You guys just go on roasted by the end.
Fucking
If I don't
simp.
say anything.
Luke's a simp.
What is that?
It's right off.
Lucas, you can now speak, Lucas. I give you permission. You have the conch.
Here, Lucas. Lucas, you have the pick. You may speak. Here.
Oh, I made it. I mean, I know I made a YouTube video about this a long time ago. It's not a good video, but what if Fernando Torres never left Liverpool? I don't know. I was just a big Fernando Torres fanboy. Probably wouldn't have been that great, but still, sometimes the thing I think about.
What if R9 never got his injuries?
Lucas lays in bed.
Oh no! Shut up,
overnight,
Liam. Here's your
Fernando.
Liam, here's your do-rag. You may speak.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
What if Liam wore it?
What if Liam got
I
lazy as
don't know how
fuck?
to-
What if? Can you crop that for me?
This question went off
Can you
topic.
crop that with Liam just spinning, bro?
Are we good?
There you
Are
go.
we
There's a
good?
picture. Spin that shit.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Are we good to
Give him
do
a
we
clean
answer a
lineup,
YouTube
too.
question?
I didn't even see any was, to be honest.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. If you made it this far and you'd like to leave YouTube questions, please do. Liam, do your thing. You're better at it.
Okay, I mean, I just joined in, so I'll be fair enough. I don't really know how this podcast went, but if you're here,
Went all right.
fucking fantastic. 'Cause I don't know why you would be, but thank you very much. Remember to hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Twitch, 90 Minute Official. Check us out over on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. But from the 5 of us here today, thanks for joining in. Thanks for the questions. Send your questions down in the comments. We shall see you next week. Have a good one.